Hi, my name is Ever Rayford, and this is me. So, I'll be discussing uh, a reflection of my personal assessments, a reflection of 5 concepts that I've learned in the class, and 6 concepts or ideas that I think will be helpful in my personal and professional life. For my personal assessments, I've chosen online and offline self-disclosure, confirming and disconfirming communication, emotional intelligence, nonverbal immediacy behaviors, and empathy and my empathy quotient. So basically what I've learned is that I gained about an average score on all these. And I think that what it tells me is that I think that these skills are sort of starting to develop in my communication, and I think over time, I think I could better develop these skills. The concepts that I've learned in the class, I think the first thing that I've learned is that we tend to create communication climates through our messages of compliance and aggressiveness, and sometimes we're unaware of the type of messages that we give out to people, which garners the responses of aggressiveness or compliance. And I think that if we paid more attention to the type of messages that we give out, we would be more able to get the type of messages that we intend to get. Another concept I learned is that it requires a lot of understanding to express empathy to another person, and I think that's something that I've started to become better at, something that I further need to develop, but that requires a lot more attentiveness and more listening and more understanding of people's different situations to be able to fully empathize with people. I also learned that emotional intelligence requires self-reflection with one's person and one's feelings, and I think that is something that I could further learn in my life, and being able to learn more about myself and how to express myself, I think that would give me more emotional intelligence. I also learned that people are more attentive, can be just as much attentive to nonverbal communication as they can with verbal communication, in terms of your body language, your tone of voice, how you carry yourself, that it speaks volumes to different people, and people can be observant of that, and they can make assumptions of you based off that. And I think that's something that I can further develop, and being able to observe nonverbal communication cues in people and be more aware of the cues that I put out in people and what people can assume off of me. And the final concept I learned is that self-disclosure, basically when it comes to self-disclosure, it can enforce somebody to close off a lot of information about themselves, to create this sort of persona that they want to give off to people. And I know that that is something that I could be victim of. I tend to close off a lot of personal information, and I carry myself in a certain way so that people can assume this image about me. But when they get to know me and talk to me, they see a whole other side of me that they wouldn't normally expect. And then sometimes for some people it could be a good thing, and some people it could be a detriment, because the people that assume stuff about you, they can have they can have a negative reaction to it because they expect you to be some way, but you're another way. I think some of the things that I can use in my personal and professional life from the class is being able to read off the different types of nonverbal communication: body language, voice, tone, posture. Another is being able to learned how to empathize with people, and I think that will make me more relatable to people, or be able to show that I can have relatability with other people by showing empathy. And the next is conflict resolution, managing conflicts in my personal life and the workplace, learning the different methods and the different types of conflicts. I could be able to show how I can respond to those conflicts and better be able to resolve them in a more professional manner and non-violent manner. And another is using positive language, using more positive language in the way I speak to people I don't know, my friends, my family, and that way I don't come off as arrogant to people around me, and that they could see that I'm a lot more thoughtful. And being able to listen and being able to more better receive messages and to give back the messages and further comprehend the messages, and being able to show that I could be a good listener. And I think that will further help me in my personal life, in building relationships with people around me, and in my professional life. Well, that is it. And I just want to say that I'm really thankful that I took this class, and I hope to use a lot more skills in the future and effectively become a better communicator. So, yeah, I'm Evan Rayford, and this is me.